Hey everybody, it is Kennedy Hawk from the MCM team, and we are starting a really new exciting series. In addition to the weekly hero primers I'm going to be trying to doing, I'm also going to kick back off the MCM matchup, which is our version of organized play for Marvel Champions. In case you didn't hear, Marvel Champions came out with this super awesome organized play kit. We had the first event at our local store, and I was already able to pick up a couple of the promos here from our local store for this X-Men wave. So there are alternate art heroes. There are also full art heroes using like the regular art. So here's Kitty Pryde's full art hero, and even full art villains within this box. So there are 20 booster packs, 4 villain dials, and 4 hero counting dials. I don't have those unpacked right now. My store was gracious enough to gift me one of these kits so I can run some organized play over the interwebs with all of you. So, how you're going to be able to get an exclusive pack, one of these organized play kit packs, is by playing along Marvel Champions here with Kennedy Hawk Weekly. And what I'm going to try to do is every Tuesday, I'm going to try to put out a video of me playing against a certain scenario and modular set. In the video description, there will be a Google form, and on our Discord, you can talk about the matchup for that week. Anyone that plays the matchup for that week and fills out the Google form will be able to check a box saying, yes, I would like to be entered in the contest. And then at the end of the month, after 4 weeks, so the end of April, we'll be picking 2 winners who will each receive 2 packs from the Mutant Genesis Organized Play Kit. And then we have some of our custom MCM promos. We'll also be giving those out to the same 2 players. So be sure to play each month. You can enter each week 1 time, so you could enter 4 times over the process of the month. And then at the end of the month, we'll pull the winners and mail those prizes out right before Con of Heroes. So this is the inaugural, or the first edition of our new MCM matchup. We might rotate through different people playing on the MCM channel as we do these matchups, and if you want to submit a scenario, I would be glad to take some suggestions. But for now, we're going to be playing one of my favorite villains, Klaw, and I used the Brotherhood Modular Set from Mutant Genesis. So Klaw here is trying to join the Brotherhood. I'm going to try to play through on Standard and on Expert, and I am using an Ant-Man Justice deck. So I am here as Scott Lang with my 12 hit points. Alright, we're going to do villain setup here for Standard mode first. And I think this is actually Standard, but I shuffled in the Expert cards if I remember right. So let me pull those out. This is my constant problem here. So those Expert cards will save for match 2 here. I hope you all enjoy this, playing along with me. I haven't practiced this deck against this villain. We're just going to let what happens happens. And the first thing we're going to do is find a minion, and it is a weapons runner. So nothing special from, Klaw's kit yet. So again, play along, Google form. Submit that by the end of the month. You're going to have to put your email in to be entered. You can get up to 4 entries, 1 for each week. Play along with the community, talk about the matchup, discuss it on Discord and things like that. It can only help the community grow. Alright, so we've got a weapons runner and a defense network, and we are going through the underground distribution. The attack on the shield facility has been linked to an underground weapons network. Gasp. Your investigation reveals that the criminal enterprise is operated by Klaw, an old rival of the Avengers, and I am an Avenger. Scott Lang here, so let's get underway. Every once in a while, if I get the chance, I'll actually try to stream these, but for the first couple, it's just going to be recorded so I can make sure to have them ready ahead of time. So, we've got a hand size of 6 cards here. Let's see what's in our hand. We have a Giant Stomp, one way or another, a Pim Particles, an Army of Ants, a Clear the Area, and a Lead on the Law. I do like Clear the Area, because that's going to draw me a card, because I can flip to Tiny Form, remove a threat, and then clear the area on Defense Network. I also like getting an Army of Ants out early, and if I'm in Tiny Form, Pim Particles is going to draw me a card. Let's keep one way or another and get rid of Giant Stomp. Just look for a little bit more threat, or a little bit more something. Dazzler and Skilled Investigator. So this is a pretty good setup. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play Skilled Investigator to the board, because we're going to defeat a side scheme this turn. We're going to flip to Tiny Form. After you change to this form, remove 1 threat from a scheme. Done so. I'm using my Game Genic token tray over here. So if you hear random clicking, that's what's going on. Removed one threat from the scheme. Next, we are going to use Pim particles to play Clear the Area. After you spend this card, heal 2 damage if you were in giant form, or draw 1 card if you were in tiny form. We're going to remove 2 threat from a side scheme, which again is going to draw us a card from Clear the Area, because we removed the last threat from the scheme, and we will exhaust Skilled Investigator to draw 1 more card. A little bit bonkers there, with not much to do, but we are going to go ahead and one way or another to draw just a few more cards. We get to search the encounter deck for a side scheme. So let's find one that we don't care about too much. The Brotherhood. That's not a bad one. It comes in with 5 threat. Maybe that is a bad one. Yeah, between us and Dazzler, we can remove 4 threat, so I'd rather get something that we can actually defeat immediately. So let's grab Illegal Arms Factory. We don't want to create problems for ourselves. So we played one way or another. We found an Illegal Arms Factory. Let's just get some tokens out here. And we need 4 threat on that scheme. And then because of one way or another, we're going to draw 3 cards. So Heroic Intuition, Under Surveillance, and Resize. None of these are bad things. Let's go ahead and use 1 Skilled Investigator. Let's play an Army of Ants, and we'll use that to ping this weapons runner for 1 damage. Next, we will pay Thwart for 2 with Ant-Man. And then we're going to use Under Surveillance, Heroic Intuition, Overwatch, and one way or another to play Dazzler. When she comes out, we're going to confuse an enemy. We'll confuse, the big guy there, Klaw. And we're going to Thwart for another 2 to defeat Illegal Arms Factory, creating and solving a lot of our own problems in this opening turn. We're going to play Resize to change forms to Giant form. When we change to Giant form, we're still exhausted, but we deal a damage to something, so we'll get rid of that weapons runner and draw a card. And it's Army of Ants, which we're going to hold for next turn. So let's ready up. Everything's looking pretty good. We have a hand size of 4 in Giant form only, but we've gone pretty far into our deck in this first turn. We've got an Overwatch, a Lead on the Law, and a Clear the Area. Pretty good. And the villain phase begins. So 1 threat on the main scheme. The villain will attack us, and I think I'm even going to defend with my big 3 defense here as Ant-Man. So we're getting hit for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will take 1 damage. Next, what do we want to do? Trying to get you all a better view here so you don't have to see the side of my head so much. I don't know if that was actually better. What do we want to do? Oh, we get an encounter card. Let's do that first. It's the Brotherhood. It's a 5 threat side scheme with a hazard icon. No big deal. No big deal. But that's it. That ain't too bad, right? Army of Ants was actually in our hand, so we had to discard it. My bad. It is our turn. What do we want to do here? We probably want to lay down the Law for 4. I'm trying to see if I can clear the area and lay down the Law, but I don't know if I can. So I could put Overwatch on Brotherhood. I could flip and use Clear the Area and also clear the main scheme. And that would remove 2 and 1 here, and then all of it from the main scheme. I think the right answer is to flip first. It's tiny form. Remove 1 threat from a scheme. We'll make it the main scheme. As we flip, we're going to lay down the Law with Bishop, not paying with a mental, but it still removes 3. And then we'll use Overwatch to clear the area, finishing off the Brotherhood. That will draw us a card from Skilled Investigator, draw us a card from Clear the Area. Giant Stomp and Professor X. None of our double resources yet. Maybe I didn't include them. I can't remember. We're going to deal 1, and then 2 more from Dazzler here. And we can't flip down because we've already flipped for this turn. But we're going to discard Professor, or what's it called, Giant Stomp, and just draw 4 to go with our Professor X. So Strength, Giant Strength, and lay down the Law. Super strong. Get it? Y'all got it. Good. Villain turn. 1 threat. We're going to have 2 coming at us, and this time Dazzler's going to block for us. So Dazzler's going to take 0. Oops. 1, 2. She dead. We get an encounter card, which was Blob. Guard, force response. After Blob attacks and damages a character, stun that character. Okay. Hopefully not too bad for us. It is our go. So we're going to Army Advance 1 onto Blob. We don't actually need to play Professor X yet, because we already have Klaw confused from Dazzler, which is a bit of a bummer. I almost think we just go for Blob. So we could use Wait on the Law and Strength to play 2 copies of Giant Strength. We can flip to Giant form, where we have 3 attack. We'll get +2 attack, so we'll use our ping on Blob. And then we can go swinging for 5. Sorry, we'll do our ping on Klaw, swing for 5 on Blob, and well, I don't want to hold Professor X because unless I draw advance, it's going to be kind of useless. So we're drawing 4, readying up, no allies to save us this turn. All right, 1 threat going on the main. Klaw's going to attack us. We're just going to take this one. Every time I do that, I get exhausted. No, I'm just going to take 4 damage. Not too bad. Going to have to start healing eventually. And our encounter card is attached to a minion and give it a tough status card. Otherwise, this card gains Surge. Toad. After Toad attacks and damages a character you control, discard a random card from your hand. Okay. Well, we got to kill him. We got lots of good stuff we can do this turn, luckily. So let's go ahead and swing for 3 to get rid of Toad. Let's flip to our other form with Resize and remove a threat, and then draw a card. Let's go ahead and use Pim Particles to play another Army Advance and draw a card. We can use Army Advance to ping for 2. We use Resize to flip, so we can still flip down this turn, which is pretty nice. Do I want to get an Overwatch in the main scheme, or do I want a one way or another? I think first I want a one way or another. I think the only one left is the Immortal Klaw. So Klaw's going to get 10 hit points, but it's going to be pretty temporary, if I had to guess. Three threat on this side scheme, and we draw 3 cards. Perfect, real good cards here. So we're going to put Overwatch onto the Immortal Klaw. We are going to thwart for 2 and trigger Overwatch. Doesn't hurt. We are going to use... Do I want to get rid of Risk Gauntlets? Oh my gosh. I got to get rid of something. Yeah. I think I'm going to use Sonic Rifle to play Clear the Area. Removing the last threat from Immortal Klaw. We're going to draw from Clear the Area. We're going to draw from Skilled Investigator. Oh, we've got a Nick Fury, but we don't want to flip down. Let's go ahead and use Hive Mind to play Wrist Gauntlets. And we're going to flip to Alter Ego form, healing 1. and we got rid of the 10 from Immortal Klaw. So we're going to keep Nick Fury in our hand. And we're going to draw 4 more cards, not quite decking out. So we've got Wasp, Quake, Wiccan, Ant-Man's Helmet, Nick Fury, and Energy. A ton of cards we want to play. Villain phase, 1 threat, Corn Fused, and an Armored Guard. He's tough. Not so bad for us. We know we can get rid of him pretty easily. So let's flip to... I want to flip to Giant or Tiny? I think I want to flip to Tiny. Remove a threat. Use Army of Ants to clear tough. And another Army of Ants to punch him for 1. We will then use Energy, Quake, and Wasp to play Nick Fury. He's going to draw us 3 cards, so that's a Genius and 2 more. We'd really like a Strength and a Resize. And then we're going to go to town on Klaw at this point, because we're pretty well set up here. We did deck out, steal ourselves an encounter card before we forget. Alright, 2 more cards. Hive Mind and Dazzler. We do not have 2 fists, but we don't have a way into giant form, so we can't stun him this turn anyway. Let's have Nick Fury finish off the Armored Guard. Feels good. Do we play Dazzler? Or do we play our Helmet? I think we play our Helmet first. That might be all we can do. Yeah, let's pay 3 for our Helmet. And I guess we hold on to Dazzler. We can punch for 1. Doesn't hurt. So we've got Dazzler, clear the area, Army of Ants, one way or another, and lay down the law. There are no side schemes left, though, so we need to deck out the encounter deck before we can try to get more side schemes. Alright, Villain's turn. Nick Fury is going to take this attack for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 2 encounter cards to deal with. The first one is an advance, so he's going to scheme for 2, 3. Normally a game ender right there. And a Sonic Boom. Exhaust everybody or pay everything. I believe we can afford to exhaust everybody right now. Let's get this out of here. Okay. It is our go. We can't one way or another. Doesn't that stink? We can punch for 2. And now I don't have a great way to do much more than that. We could switch to giant form and heal 2. Doesn't hurt. We don't have the 2 physical. One way or another is going to whiff. That would let us lay down the law to clear all the threat, though. So yeah, let's use clear the area to play 1 more Army of Ants. Let's flip to giant form. Boom, ba-doom. We are exhausted still, but we get to heal 2 from Helmet. And as we flip, we're going to one way or another and delete on the law to remove 4 threat. Just get that scheme nice and empty. And we ping for 1 as we flip as well. So I'm going to pitch Dazzler at this point because I probably won't be able to afford her. 1, 2, 3, 4. In our hand, we've got Bishop, clear the area, and Overwatch. So 1 threat. We're just going to face tank this one. So 2 plus 0 plus 2. 0 plus 0 plus 2. And our encounter card is Klaw's Vengeance. Klaw attacks you. If he deals damage, place 1 threat in the main scheme. Yeah, we're going to take it again. 0 boost a guy, and 1. So we take 1 and place 1 threat. We've got a little weapons runner in front of us now. Not so bad. Do we swing in this form? Get rid of the weapons runner? Doesn't seem bad. I think he had 2. I just messed that up. No, he had 1. I just flipped him down to 1. Alright, let's flip to tiny form. When we flip, we can remove a threat. We can also draw a card. Do I want to... Yeah. We're going to Army Advance, ping 1 off Klaw. Advance to stage 2. When revealed, search everywhere for the Immortal Klaw, put it into play, which is great because we kind of want a side scheme to defeat anyway. He has 18 health. So there's his 18 plus 10 from the Immortal Klaw. And the Immortal Klaw is going to have 3 threat on it. Alright, so let's throw an Overwatch on the Immortal Klaw. Let's use Bishop to play Clear the Area to remove 2 and 1. Then let's use Giant Stomp to clear the area. To defeat the Immortal Klaw, drawing a card, and then drawing a card from Skilled Investigator. 2 copies of Pim Particles. Beautiful, people. Beautiful. Let's pay 2, or use 2 Army Advance to hit 2 there. And I'm actually going to use these in tiny form to confuse the villain, just in case we get an advance or something silly like that. Gonna ready up. We don't have anybody to block for us this turn, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Sonic Rifle, Energy, Late on the Law, Resource, or Resize, and Giant Stomp. Okay, Giant Stomp helps a lot here. So 1 threat in the main, he's going to punch us for 2, and we're going to take it. So he's punching us for 1, 2, 3, 4. Ouch. That may have been a mistake. We get 1 encounter card, and it's an Armored Guard with Tough. Not a big deal for us. Alright. What do we do? Let's ping Tough off that Armored Guard. Let's resize. Change to Giant Size. Giant Size, X-Men, Ant-Man, whatever it's called. We're going to ping the villain for 1. Are we? No. Let's have used all these against the Armored Guard and finish the Armored Guard off instead. Because when we change to this form, we get 2 giant strengths, so we're at a hefty 5 attack right now, and let's just swing for 5. 5Zs, right? We're going to play, I can talk, Energy and Sonic Rifle for a Giant Stomp, which is going to deal 8 damage. Down to 3. And I think I flip, since I used Resize, and just heal 1 more and chill, getting rid of Lay Down the Law. Just looking for anything that can deal damage here, basically. We got a Quake. So, 1 threat. He's going to be confused. And our encounter card is a Surge into an Advance. Oh no. He's going to scheme for 2, 3, and exhaust a character you control. Wowzers. And we get an acceleration token because we just milled the encounter deck. But it is now our go. And it looks like we can finish him off with an Army Advance, which I love doing. So that's what we're going to do. Let's change to tiny form and draw a card. And then we'll use 3 copies of Army of Ants to finish off the Klaw. So that was the MCM matchup for this week. Klaw with Brotherhood. I think it could be fun. It could be more fun if you hit a Brotherhood member right away. There's some pretty fun boost effects in Brotherhood, but ultimately not too big of a challenge for our first week of MCM open play. So We are going to get set up for expert mode here. Probably lose. You can submit your results, win or loss. You will not be neglected from the entry for that. So if you play and you're interested in OP packs, please submit them. So yada yada yada, same story. Y'all know that. We've got a bunch of schemes, so now we're really depending on Overwatch here. Klaw's got a ton of health, right? He's going to start with that 18 plus 10. Ant-Man's going to start with way more than 6, though, so that's nice. And let's get a shuffle in. So, I hope you all enjoy this matchup. Let me know how it goes. I'll be sending the packs to you sealed, so you can even comment and let me know what you got in your packs. So since I have 20 packs in this box, and we're going to give 4 away a month, that should get us through 5 months. It sounded like there might be more OP kits in the future, so if there are, I will try to get whatever the next one is too. Otherwise, my store has a few more of them, and if our organized play events at the actual store don't take up all of them, they told me I could probably get, another one. So let's start off by looking for our minion, and we get Toad. Technically, Care for Cassie has to go back in the deck, and I'm just gonna, do that. So, y'all saw that. Sorry. All right, let's go back to Viren on the couch with Scott Lang. He knows where his remote is, unlike me. My children just constantly lose it. Extremely frustrating, but it's okay. I still got to see the Secret Invasion trailer on my phone. Oh gosh, my entire deck, everywhere. Gotta shuffle off screen so I can put all those good cards on the top, Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think we want to start off really strong here. And what we want to do is we want to lay down the law. We could try to clear the area as well. Let's actually keep clear the area, and we're going to hard mulligan for Overwatch. That might be a mistake. We'll see. We did not get an Overwatch, so kind of a mistake. So my plan was Overwatch and Immortal Klaw, flip, remove 1 from Immortal Klaw, use clear the area to remove 2 from each, draw a card, all sorts of good things happen, but that's not what my life was today. So I'm wondering if there's still a chance, right? So let's pay 3 with Energy and Sonic Rifle for our helmet. We're going to flip to Tiny Form, draw a card from our helmet. It is not an Overwatch. Bummer, first of all. Second of all, let's use Giant Stomp to play Army of Ants. Let's use Army of Ants to deal 1 to Toad. I think I go ahead and remove 2 from the Immortal Klaw at this point. Oh, and I removed 1 from flipping, right? So I would defeat the Immortal Klaw. Maybe I remove 2 from Immortal Klaw, and for my flip I remove 1 from Defense Network. Does that make sense to everybody? Because now I can resize into... Did I need to not attack? Or not thwart? Did I thwart? What am I doing here? Oh my gosh. Okay. We're going to resize to Giant Form, hit Toad for 1 more. We would get to heal 2, but that doesn't matter. We do draw a card from resize, and we'll use clear the area to clear the area on Defense Network. Drawing 1 more card, and it's a lay down the law. Not a great opening turn. We did make a lot of progress. I'm going to get rid of lay down the law, because I don't want to keep that. We do have Army of Ants and Ant-Man's Helmet turn 1, so ultimately I'm pretty happy with that, but a little bummed that I'm going to be discarding a random card from Toad, or having to defend against Toad. That's even worse. Alright, 2 threat in the main scheme. Klaw is going to attack us for 1 plus something. Do I just face tank it and hope he doesn't exhaust me? I'd be real mad if he exhausts me. 1, 2, and boost a character. So I'm taking 2. That's not a big deal. these guys attack me. So Weapons Runner hits me for 1. I think I defend against Toad, so I don't discard a random card. And I get Shadows of the Past. This is a bad day. This is a bad day, everybody. All tech have blank text boxes. That's real bad for us, because we really need that card draw from our helmet. If you're in giant form, retaliate 1, tiny form, +1 attack. We've just got nasty things all over the place here. We should have just taken our randomly discarded card, is what we should have done. Okay, well. We don't have a skilled investigator in our hand, do we? Man, we don't even have a thwart in our hand. Brutal. So we're not going to get our card draw from Ant-Man's helmet. We could play Quake and then get our card draw. No, she can't even thwart for enough. Oh no, because we can choose the order of the responses. Is that what we do? Or do we one way or another and look for... That's one way or another. There's nothing like living wild in this game. What's our choice? Brotherhood or Illegal Arms Factory? Gosh. Setting up our own loss here, team. So Klaw went a little off the rails here. Turns out that starting Toad was really a problem for me. I get to draw 3 cards from one way or another. Alright, and we get a giant stomp. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Okay. I still don't have a way to turn that tech on. That is quite the bummer. Do I play Giant Stomp, though? I think I do. I'm going to do it with Quake, Resize, and... Gosh, I guess I do Pim Particles and Heal 2. To play Giant Stomp, we'll hit Yellow Jacket for 8. 1 here, and get rid of Toad. I believe that's how Giant Stomp works. 8 damage to enemy, 1 damage to each minion. And now we're going to have to flip. We won't get to draw, which is a bummer. But we can remove a threat here, which is probably a pretty big deal. And we defended against Toad, right? That's what happened here. That was so bad. Man, this is really gross. Army of Ants. I think I Overwatch here. I think that's what I do. I don't have much other choice. Do I hold on to Army of Ants or do I pitch it? I think I pitch it. I need thwarts more than anything else. We get nothing. Dang. Alright, so Wasp could still thwart and trigger that if we need to. Okay. Got rid of Immortal Klaw. Woot woot. He's going to swing at us for 1, 2, 3. We've got 2 encounter cards to deal with. The first one is an Assault. So he's going to swing for 1, 2, 3. The second one is an Advance. Oh no, he's going to scheme for 1, 2 only. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Overwatch. Except that I don't have any good thwart actions here. I definitely play Skilled Investigator. And then I think I use Under Surveillance and Strength to play Wasp. After Wasp enters play, deal 2 damage to enemy if you're in giant form, or remove 2 threat from a scheme if you're in tiny form. So we're going to remove 2 threat here. Wasp is going to thwart for 2 here, and we'll trigger Overwatch. I think that's how that works. We just defeated a scheme, so we'll draw a card. Let's play Army of Ants. Ping the villain for 2. I think Ant-Man finishes off Tech Theft. Do I flip down and heal, or flip to giant form and heal? I think I do. I think I do. I think I do. All right, let's go up to 7. Ping for 1. And living on a prayer here. No more advances. Only 4 cards in giant form. Professor X, one way or another, lay down the law and Pim particles. Finally, I laid down the law. All right, villain's turn. He's going to hit us for 1 plus something. And I think I'm going to defend. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we take 1. We get 1 encounter card only, and it's an armored guard with tough. Not a big deal right now. Okay, that feels good. So let's go ahead and, I think there's one more threat in there. Flip to tiny form, removing a threat. As we flip, we draw a card from Ant-Man's helmet. Do we play Lay Down the Law? I don't think we do, because we'd rather play Professor X, right? So let's Army Advance Tough away. Army Advance and Wasp away the Armored Guard. Let's go ahead and we defended, right? So we're exhausted, yeah. Let's go ahead and play Lay Down the Law, Pim Particle, in one way or another to play Professor X. That's going to confuse the villain and draw us a card from Pim Particles. We're going to use this other one way or another to not create our own problems and play a Giant Strength. Professor X will thwart for 3, clear that main scheme. Oh no, my little Hawkeye bobblehead. He fell over. It means I have to sacrifice him and throw him over there. We still got Palmon here, don't worry. Alright, Professor X has 1 damage on him. We're building up a wall of allies that we didn't have on standard, so I'm feeling not horrible, but it's been a pretty brutal setup here so far. Alright, Nick Fury, lots of good stuff, all the good things in hand. Skilled Investigator, clear the area, Overwatch, Heroic Intuition. Okay. Villain's turn. 1 threat on the main scheme. He comes swinging at us, and Professor X is here for it. So 1, 2, 4, 5, and attach this card to a minion and give it a tough status card, but there aren't any. Perfect. Professor X is in the discard. 1 encounter card. Oops, that was 2 encounter cards. An Assault. We're going to throw Wasp in front of this one for a bunch, and if this activation deals damage to you, which it doesn't, exhaust your hero. We survived. We have no allies left, but we survived. Let's Army Advance for 2. Down to 13 on the villain. Should feel good. I think we're going to spend all 4 on Nick Fury and draw 3 cards. That does deck us out. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Alright, we've got an Overwatch to throw in the main scheme. We'll use a Genius to play another Giant Strength, and we are going to jump to Giant Form, pinging the villain for 1, gaining 2 attack, and then healing 2 from our helmet. Nick Fury will punch for 2. Ant-Man will punch for 5. We're going to stay in this form. Oh, I guess we don't have a choice at this point, but we shall still stay in this form. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's the villain's phase. So go into 2 threat. Nick Fury is going to defend against a 5 damage attack. And we've got 2 encounter cards. The first one is Under Fire, so we've got 3 encounter cards. We've got Avalanche. After Avalanche attacks you, exhaust a character you control. Okay. We've got Weapons Runner, who's going to Surgity Surge into a solid sound body, so retaliate on Klaw. And a Sound Manipulation. Take 2 damage, Klaw heals 2. Ouch. What a phase. We don't have Giant Stomp in hand. Ain't that a bummer. Let's look through here and see what side schemes exist still. The Brotherhood is gone. Our Tech Disabler is gone, although that's a really easy one to defeat. Yeah, I think all the side schemes are already out of the deck, so one way or another doesn't really help me here. I do swing for 3, which isn't too bad. So let's go ahead and hit Avalanche for 3 to start things off. Then we're going to flip to Tiny Form, remove a threat, draw a card from Helmet, and we are exhausted. We are going to use Quake, Wrist Gauntlets, and one way or another to play Wasp. Oh, I should have done that before I flipped. Oh well. She removes some threat. She'll punch for 2 and get rid of Avalanche. We'll Army advance the weapons runner away. We've got a resize, so we can flip back to big boy form. Punch for 1 and heal 2. And draw a card, hopefully into another resize. No, into a clear the area, which we will discard. Okay. Drawing 4 again only, but in much better shape this turn, I think. 1 threat going in the main. Klaw's going to attack us, and we'll take it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe that was a mistake. And our encounter card is Yellow Jacket's Plan. Discard cards from the encounter deck until an Ant-Man Nemesis set card is discarded this way. Reveal that card. Oh, thank goodness. Let's get those side schemes back in. There were none. So we do shuffle up and add an acceleration token. But we just turned on all of our one way or anothers, even though we don't have one in our hand, and good things have prevailed. So do I want to flip him to the next form? I don't know. I kind of want to flip down and burn that Confuse. Is that really bad? But I'd also like to somehow play... Oh, I've already used my Confuse, right? So maybe that doesn't matter. Too bad I have all these thwart cards in my hand. Oh, wow, I need one more card in my hand somehow. What we can do is we can lay down the Law to play Clear the Area. That will draw us 1. It's a resize. That's really good. So we could resize to Tiny Form, remove 0 threat, but draw a card from Helmet. Ugh, nothing great. We can Army advance for 2. So he's down to 4 health. And we did resize this turn, so we could flip back and smash face. But I think what we do is we flip down and heal 1. We haven't done our activation yet, so let's heal 3 more and just get as close to full health as we can. So we're up to 8. Wasp will punch for 2. Way next turn she can finish things off. And I think I keep Pim Particles, but I throw everything else away. I'm not even sure it's worth keeping Pim Particles, but we're going to do it. Okay. No one way or another's again. Villain's turn. They're going to get 2 threat. We are going to not scheme and get an encounter card, which is an armored guard. Not a big deal if whatever form we go to. What do we do here? Do we punch him to the next phase? Or do we go Tiny Form here? Take things slower. So if we go to Giant Form, we could push Tough off Armored Guard. We could swing into Armored Guard, and then we could Giant Stomp for 8. Giant Stomp for 8 doesn't feel great right now. So I think what we do is we go to Tiny Form, draw a card from Helmet, remove a threat, Yeah, that was a little better. We're going to use 2 Pim Particles to play Wiccan and draw 2 cards. We will cry because our hand is completely useless. No, I mean maybe. Army of Ants +1, and then, gosh, what a crummy hand. So we've got Overwatch, Energy, Skilled Investigator, 2 Giant Stomps we can't play, and a Lead on the Law. My goodness. Let's thwart for 1. So let's use 1 Army of Ants to remove the tough. Thwart for 1, and we discard the top card of the encounter deck for 2 to hit Armor Guard for 2 more, so the other Army of Ants can finish him off. That way we can keep Wasp to chump with. Honestly, this is just such a bad hand that we're going to have to throw away. We're going to punch for 1. That's about all we can do. Oh, he's got Retaliate. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, how long has he had Retaliate? Well, let's get rid of Retaliate. I'm a cheater. Let's just assume Wasp is dead. Is that good enough punishment? No, I'm going to deal myself 2 damage too. You know what? Yeah, 1 damage. That's a good enough penance, right? Who are we anyway? Alright, let's keep energy and see what else we can get here. 4 more cards, one way or another. Army of Ants, Sonic Rifle, and Strength. All the monies. 2 threat in the main scheme. He is going to punch us in the face. We're at 7. Wiccan can take that. Wiccan's taking 1, 2, and exhaust a character you control. Bummer. We've got 1 encounter card coming at us, and it's an Armored Guard with Tough. Gosh, those Armored Guards with Tough. Okay. Sonic Rifle to play Army of Ants. Let's go dumpster diving for one way or another. What is in our hand, by the way? Nothing that lets us thwart. How saucy do we feel? Turn off our tech saucy? Sure, why not? We draw 3 cards from one way or another. It's another one way or another. Clear the area and Hive Mind. So we will use Hive Mind to clear the area for 2 here. We'll trigger Overwatch to also defeat Tech Thief. That feels good. Last thing was defeated, so we can draw 1 from Clear the Area, draw 1 from Skilled Investigator. Our life isn't that much better, sadly. We can, though, get an Under Surveillance on the main scheme and play a Professor X to Corn Fuse. That's Army of Ants, 2 damage plus remove a tough, and then flip to Giant Form, which will get rid of this guy, and heal us 2. 9, okay. Professor X can't even thwart because he's got nothing to do. And let's draw 4. That is going to deck us out. Next turn, hopefully, we can start going for Klaw. I'm sorry about that misplay. I can't believe I forgot about that Retaliate. I put it up there saying, I'm going to forget this in my head, and then I immediately forgot it. Alright, Heroic Intuition, Bishop, Laid on the Law, resize. We got a resize. That's what we got. 2 threat going on the main. We're going to defend. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaust a character if this damages you. But it doesn't. 2 encounter cards. 3 encounter cards. We're exhausted again. 3 encounter cards still. Illegal Arms Factory, Weapons Runner, Pyro, Advance. Ha! Confused. We finally win. My goodness. What shenanigans? What shenanigans has ensued? Let's flip to Tiny Form. We're going to remove... How risky do I feel? We're going to remove a threat here. and then draw a card from Ant-Man's helmet. And then we're going to use nothing yet. We're going to ping Pyro for 3. Because we're never going to attack in this game. And we are exhausted from exhaustion still. Then we're going to resize to change to giant form. Pinging Pyro dead and healing for 2. So we are almost at full health now. Gaining 2 attack and drawing a card from resize. We did draw into Sonic Rifle, so we can lay down the law. This side scheme dead, draw a card for Skilled Investigator. Let's clear the area. Oh my goodness. I think we Heroic Intuition to clear the area. Draw a card for clearing the last scheme. Use Lay Down the Law on Bishop to play Quake. She'll swing for 2 here, defeating this minion. So basically we just stalled for a turn and healed and got an ally out. But hopefully that's enough to let us punch pretty hard next turn. Yeah, it is, I think. 2 threat the main scheme. Quake's going to take this first attack for a bunch of damage. And we've got a Claw's Vengeance. Claw attacks you. Great. Just what we needed. We're going to face tank it for 4. And it's our go. And he places a threat because that was Claw's Vengeance. How vengeful. Alright. Let's get saucy here. Let's resize. Remove a threat. Trigger our helmet to draw a card. While we're in this form, going to Army of Ants to the next phase. So he's up to 22 hit points with toughness. We're just going to remove a toughness and 1 more hit point right away. So he's at 21 hit points. Not too bad yet. We're going to use Pim Particles to clear the area. So that removes the last threat, so clear the area, draws a card. Don't draw for Skilled Investigator. Do draw for Pim Particles. How brave do I feel right now? I'm feeling pretty brave. How about you? Do we go grab a defense network with one way or another? I think we do. It's got 3 threat on it. Surprise, surprise, we're going to remove it all. I thought I had... Oh, we draw 3 from one way or another. I was like, could have swore I had more things to do. Let's... flip to big boy form. Punch for 1, go to 5 attack. So we resize, now we actually flipped. After we flipped, we will Pin Particles to lay down the law and defeat Defense Network. So from our flip, we're going to heal from 2. From our Pin Particles, we're going to heal for 2. Draw a card for Skilled Investigator. Let's just throw an Overwatch up here, and we'll pay 3 for a Giant Stomp. Hit him to 12. Hit him to 7. Call it a day. Hope we don't die. GG. Let's draw our 4 cards. We got a Giant Stomp, so let's see what can happen here. He's going to get 2 threat. He's going to attack us for 2, plus 0, plus 3, 5. We get 1 lovely encounter card. It's a Sonic Boom. Spend all your money or exhaust. Exhaust. It's our go. One way or another. Clear the area. Skilled Investigator. Giant Stomp. Dead. So we did it. I missed Retaliate and probably cheated like 6 other times, but it was super fun. So, if you want to play against Klaw with the Brotherhood and fill out our Google form, can also hop into our Discord. There'll be a link to that in the video description as well. I would love to talk to you about how your matchup went. In fact, if you do post into our channel or fill out the Google form, we'll probably do a recap when we do our game next week, just talking about how people did, and do our own little organized play across the internet. So thanks for joining me at my table. As always, continue thwarting those villains, and let us know how it went. So thanks for being an awesome part of the Marvel Champions community. Super excited that my store is going to let me share this this cool prize with the community, and I can't wait to see what cards you open up from your packs. So thanks for tuning in, and have a great Tuesday.